Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I'm a little bit late, but okay. I wanted to see you guys. Yay! Oh, thank you for the super chat. Had the founders foreseen the future, they would have written a very different amendment. A well protected public being necessary to the security of a free state, the duty of the people to keep and bear arms shall be enforced. Amen. I don't know. I don't exactly familiar with the Second Amendment controversy or whatever that people talk about, but that's good that you have your own. And thank you so much for super chat as always. I already see you guys. John, hello, Yoko and Hide. Hide is absent. Oh, before I get started, by the way, thank you for those who that came to the live stream that we hosted together, my husband and I. For those who that didn't get to see it, it's the live stream before this one, and we are using. Oh my God, right in front of me, actually, there's green screen. It's gigantic. I would say it had more like width though. But yeah, my husband invested in that, and we use fancy background picture. But that's because my husband wants me to keep this live stream, hosted by only me. But also, as I keep saying to him, like I want to hold the live stream together with him because he knows so much about politics and history and everything, and he is a different human being from me. So even though he's my brain, he has lots of different perspective and knowledge. So I want to put him on, but at the same time he respects me and my audience, that we have had this live stream for years now, and he says that I should keep this, and in addition to that, my husband and I should hold another live stream. So that will be like, we will hold it at night. It's noon right now, like past noon in Japan, and that stream will be we will host that at night, so that will be your morning. So okay. So you might see us occasionally, you know what so at night or in the morning. So anyway, Mena, this, by the way, this, I'm using StreamYard, the service called StreamYard, and it makes my like facial skin fancy, right? Like it's like flawless, but my like regular body skin remains the same, so the gap is funny. Oh well, technology. Hello, Yoko-san. Hello, thanks for coming. Late in CCP. What? Trump is going to be okay, no problem. It's a witch hunt. Yeah, it's continued, right? How are you doing, Yoko-san? I'm doing great. Before I came here on this stream, I was listening to Slipknot. So yeah, that's why I kind of look like a metalhead today. Because I'm in a metal music mode, like you gotta listen. I realized that I just turned 38 years old, as old as Vivek Ramaswamy, by the way, just so you know. But when I was young, when I was a teenager, I used to listen to new metal like Slipknot, Linkin Park, Evanescence, Limp Bizkit, and that sort of bands. And so like, and like after I hit 30, I think I began listening to them again so that I can stay young. It's important. Music is very important for your mentality. Okay, waiting. I'm here. Hey Yoko. Hey, it's Yoko. Hi Yoko. Hi. My husband is back, by the way. He always goes to the grocery stores and so on to make sure that we have enough foods. He's a good housewife. Just kidding. How are your art pieces selling? None is sold. Nobody's buying. Please buy my art. Link in the description box. It's sold on Etsy. I should add some more artwork to my Etsy store. Actually, I watched Joker last night, the movie Joker. Is it from like 2019 or so? It's not the Batman one, it's the Joker, but the like him alone and his journey to become a Joker, and I watched it last night, and I kind of wanna draw a clown. Maybe I should do that. Good evening from New Orleans, Yoko. It's great to see you again. It's great to see you too. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, what is good to see also is that Trump is back on X, former Twitter. Yes. What did I tell you? I think I was actually talking about it last week or the week before that Trump should get back on X, I mean, Twitter, right? Because that's how he would connect with us all, and with other media bias, and that's where the Trump trend comes from. Like, you can tell like how important it is for him to get on social media, like, aside from his own platform. It's important that he is on like left-leaning platforms as well, because conservative or right-wing people are there as well. And once, for example, his mugshot, the shocking mugshot. It was so cool though. It's like death stare, like I'm coming for you kind of look, right? Like I come from another country with a different cultural background, but when I saw his face, in the mugshot, like it's like, yeah, like I could see like I'm coming for you kind of look, right? And then as soon as people saw that mugshot, people began, um, you know, posting their version. Even Marjorie, is it Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? She was posting that too. I saw her version first, and then I realized that people were posting like mugshot of themselves, like the same picture, but instead of Trump, they put their own picture, and then and they do that in order to show the support for Trump. So um see, like I realized that Trump actually doesn't really have to do anything. That people, like Trump supporters, are so creative that they start like a movement, like social media movement or meme and so on. So like it will just grow right, by itself. So I think that Trump should get more exposure, seriously. I could definitely warm up to a Yoko and husband do dual stream. Yeah. Yoko looking elegant as always. Thank you. I guess the conservative people wouldn't like showing too much skin. But this is, I think that I love tank tops because I grew up watching Terminator, meaning for me it's not Sarah Connor, that's my friend, Sarah Connor. And yeah, welcome back, Hide. Yeah, today Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit is a devout Russian Orthodox Christian who supports Putin. Really? No way! No way! That breaks my heart. Seriously? I hope you're joking. Oh, Fred. Uh, I. He's like, I don't know. He's a good singer and musician, but like, he's made fun of for such a long time that I feel so bad for him. He's actually good. When it comes to music, but like, and like started this cool like hip hop merged music. Like what it's called. I forget what it's called. Like the genre, the specific genre. It's not. It's new metal, but like I feel like it had its own term. I'm on the same page. Cool. Yeah, it's interesting that what you listen to, like music wise, actually, like it's like the people that listen to the same kind of music usually think the same. Like if you interpret the music correctly, that is. But with the same understanding, then you like specific music genre, and it's the same kind of people usually. And I love metal, like heavy metal and technical metal and death metal and some rock and so on. Like it's like for me, it's positive, outgoing. Yeah, it's aggressive and manly, like masculine and so on. and technical so that I can think and enjoy the music. And same for other things, even gaming. Like I was playing COD mobile, but now I like Arena Breakout, which is the mobile version of Escape from Tarkov. And that is because I get to think a lot. And I like politics because, of course, I stand for my country, but at the same time, I'm a thinker. I love to think. So, yes, it's a pretty crappy jail, but it's wild Trump got taken there. Oh, I've been in the Fulton Country jail where Trump got his mugshot taken. You've been there? Spent a day in there? Whoa. Makes me support him even harder. Yeah, that's right. Because, like, a part of me, of course, like, I was a huge Trump supporter before, but then I saw his administration and the limit of what he can do and so on. And then this whole, like, election thing is, like, I do believe that there was like the election was rigged, but the way that he has been fighting. I don't know if that's the correct answer, like, politically speaking, because he needs to win in the end. And the enemy, the demon, is very, very big. So not sure if this is the right way, that, like, how he fights, like, like, he is saying, like, oh, the election was stolen, blah blah blah. It's true, but then is it the smart way to fight? Like, I had that question in me, especially coming from another country, right? Because things are different. It's not like I'm emotional, I'm emotionally attached to him, but at the same time, I'm Japanese, right? So, like, I guess that there's the slight difference from the local people. It's sad to admit, but that's how it is. But so I guess that there was a bit of a distance, especially because he was no longer on Twitter, right, for a long time. Again, that's why I'm saying that he should be on Twitter more, because, like, just like you get on a train, it's psychologically, the experts point out that, for example, let's say I'm a Japanese, so we don't drive cars to train. Like, if you live in the city, you hop on a train and then go to your workplace. Like, that's how you commute. And the example that we have often is that, when you go to school or workplace, you get on a train and then you meet the same strangers every day. And then at first they are strangers, but then as you spend time with them every morning or every night, right? When you commute, you like, the faces become familiar, and then you feel kind of attached to them. Like, now, I forget what it's called, like, but psychologically, there's a thing, right? So same for Trump. Like, if Trump is, like, he's not, of course, hiding. He was banned from Twitter, but then he got out, right? But then he wouldn't come back until the mugshot day, right? But what I'm trying to say is that because he was absent from my site, I guess that, like, I have to admit that my attachment was getting kind of faded, right? Which was not good. Like, I was sad myself. That's why I kept saying, like, he needs to come back occasionally. But that happened. So now that he's back, it's a good thing, right? He really needs to be there in everybody's eyes. Like, everybody's already talking about Trump. It's crazy, right? Like, whether it's on the right side or the left side, people can't ignore Trump. Anyway, my the air conditioner is coming straight to my face, so, like, my throat is kind of dry. Okay. Trump is going to be one heck of a martyr. Yeah. I've met highly conservative strippers and prostitutes. Yoko's outfits is a long ways from scandalous. Okay. Uh, I'm a nerd. I listen to Bach, Chopin, and Mozart. I like, what? Mahler? No, I don't even know who that is. Cool. I used to take like classical piano lessons, so I can play a bit. But apparently, Kishida says he will make countermeasures against over tourism in order to make sure that the Japanese society will not be jeopardized with excessive amounts of foreigner good. Oh, he said that. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Um, yeah, in Japan, by the way, the current news is like it's all we talk about is the treated water from the nuclear power plants, and it's it's funny that China is opposing to that. As we said on the live stream with my husband. Yeah, like I need like Fukushima fish so that I can eat right in front of the Chinese people. you know, just to brag, like, oh, you're missing out so much. You don't want to eat this fish. I want to eat Fukushima one. Yes. Anyway, let's see. Vivek will be Trump's VP. You think? I think that can happen. That could happen. Because like, yeah, the more Vivek gets seen, I think that people will like him. Like very strong MAGA supporters support Trump, of course, but there are different type of MAGA people. Those who that like intellectual people or like outsiders like Trump, but not Trump. you know. And I think that Trump and Vivek would make a good team. They are both business-minded people, and I bet that their values are very, very similar. Like they know how to work with each other. I think that they would know, building all this business together and so on. I mean, together like separately, but like their background is very similar. Oh, super chat, thank you. あなたの今日のスタイル素敵ですね。ありがとうございます。嬉しいです。Thank you. These are actually skulls. My family back home was like, don't wear that necklace. Like, you don't know what you're wearing. I was told the same when I used to wear cross, like, oh, you don't know the worth of the, like, how heavy that is for Christian people. So, like, I like the shape of the cross, but of course, like for Christian people, that's heavy. So I was like, my my family back home was like, don't wear that. But anyway, Yoko, have you met anyone who was half Japanese, half Korean? Huh. If so, what were their views on relations between the two countries? I don't think I've seen that combination. I've met a lot of like Korean people living here, but mixed ones? I don't think so. But Korean people, though, like I forget that they are Korean, you know, when they're living here because they speak perfect Japanese. Oh wait, sometimes my mic is still there. If my microphone's changes, let me know like the last time. But yeah, Korean people, it was so cool that my last workplace. I've been a YouTuber, but like I was working in the office during I think like 2010 to 11 or 12, yeah, to 12, yeah, 2012, right before Abe administration. I was working there, and then it was for the company was like translation company, and for like guides and so on, like instruction manuals and so on. So like we were localizing the script to all languages in the world. But anyway, see, it was international there, so there were a few like Chinese workers as well, but there were hidden Korean worker. There was a hidden Korean worker, and she was like, I was in a, like we got along so much that we talked a lot, on Skype. It's a workplace and you are allowed to use get on Skype, with your coworker, and it was used for like group chat at the time to, of course, talk about work, even though we are in the same office, like we were doing that back in 2010 to 12. And then I was always chatting with this female, like older than me, but one day she told me that she's Korean, and it was like, wow. But then at the same time, I was happy that she opened up to me, because it can be tough, like I'm even strict on Korea when it comes to politics, right? Because I need to criticize what needs to be criticized. But that was before I got political, and I guess that helped. But yeah, and then she was just like Japanese people, like I never even noticed or even thought about it that she was Korean. But come to think of it, oh yeah, like she had this like very anime eyes, very Korean eyes when you think about it. And then back in university too, I was with, sorry, I didn't know any half Korean people, but there were, because I went to a university in Kansai area, in Osaka Prefecture to be precise. There were many like Korean people that were, I guess they were born in Japan, and so they spoke both Japanese and Korean. And in addition to that, because our university was for foreign language studies, they were taking another language to learn, like one or two languages. So I was like, wow, right? Oh, you are in the show. Good thing he was wearing pants. 大丈夫ね。よかったね。危ないわ。Oh my gosh. There was no underwear. That's bad for my heart. Seriously. My husband. There's a trash can right there, so my husband made a mess right there, and it's full, like the other can is full, so he just went there. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Korean people, yeah, I was close to Korean people. It was interesting because like I didn't get along with other Japanese people, but I got along with like Korean ones, so that was interesting. And because it was for like we took English class together, and then our American professor there told us to pick debate topics from the news, and our Japanese classmate picked abduction issue by North Korea. And then so one of the Korean girls cried, saying, you don't know anything. And I felt really bad, like I didn't know about politics at the time. But and of course Japanese people should, stand on our side. But at the same time, like you have to be careful, how you put everything, like you don't want to attack like ordinary people that have nothing to do with it. So that was interesting. Sorry, I rambled, but yeah. Anyway, what I admire about Vivek is that he is a practicing Hindu. He could have easily converted to Christianity for political clout, but he stayed true to his culture. I respect that. And like my husband is making a anyway, he's still a Hindu. What? I thought that he was Christian. Huh. I didn't know that. That's good that you're tolerant for that. I guess that becomes a problem though, politically speaking. Wouldn't it? Huh, interesting. It's good that if that's true, that's good that he, protects his own background. But for president, I feel like that That is very like there are many walls that he needs to clear. But you guys respect him for being a Hindu. Huh. Interesting. But it's true, like, when I participated in CPAC Japan back in 2016, when did it begin? 2017, I think. The Secretary General of ACU at the time was saying, like, do you have beliefs? He asked my husband and I, like, do you believe in, like, all this spiritual things? Like, do you have beliefs? And at the time, I was just beginning my Shinto journey. I was kind of religious for like my entire life, but then there was a time period that I denied religion or spirituality, and then when I got awakened for politics, then I begin to understand, this like is all this world that we can't see more and more. And back then, my understanding was not as good as today. But then, but yeah, he asked us because he said that it's important that you have beliefs. And now I understand what he meant by that, because if you don't believe in all the things that you can't see, this superpower up there, if you don't believe in that, then you're gonna have a problem. Co-living in the society together, because you're gonna be selfish, and also like you will not have common values, and there can be more and more problems. So, yep. You're over the skulls. That's good. Do you think mixing races is a bad idea? I don't think so. But like it depends. Like I don't care about other countries, but when it comes to mine, like generally speaking, I don't care. But for my country, I think that the majority should remain Japanese. I'm not gonna force people to marry Japanese, but ideally, like, mixed people are needed too, I think, because like by marrying, by mixing the blood, you mix the culture and you mix everything, and then that gives you lots of perspectives and knowledge and wisdom. You can learn a lot from when that happens, and I really like that. Like I studied I've studied English all my life, since 15. So I know many, internationally married people, and like that was my life, being in that community. So I have nothing against them, and I rather like the interactions, but when it comes to population, I think that's, I don't know. I just like the current state, and I want to conserve that. Right? I'm conservative. Yeah, it's about the percentage. I think, the majority remains the Japanese. I think that's the important thing. But when it comes to other countries, for example, I attended this forum called Post Russia Forum, like Free Nations of Post Russia Forum, I think it's called. Um, so there were so at the forum there were many nation people from nation states that want to get independent from the current Russian Federation. And one guy told me about his nation state, and he said that he's even Jewish, but his the concept of their nation states is that it's not like bounded by blood. You can be from anywhere, but the country is this and that, and you just belong there, and then you gotta follow the rules. Transparency is important, and blah blah blah. Like he told me a lot about their principle. But so the concept of a country, their country was much like it was like dramatically different from mine. Japan is all about being Japanese. Our blood is important. Our emperor is the same bloodline from the very beginning of our history. So it's very different. So like when I guess like it's up to each country's definition, or what the country stands for. Trump Vivek is highly possible. Oh, cool. In fact, I think having a practicing Hindu in the White House will be very bad, worse than even all the fake Christians are used to. Because like when you swear to be the president, you have to put your hand on the Bible, right? What's going to happen to that? My simple question. Yoko, are they pushing people in your country to start wearing masks and pushing the new shots? They are trying to push that here in the States. As you know, it's not going to go too well this time. I'll tell you what, we will not start wearing masks because we are wearing masks. We've been wearing masks. I don't, right? Because I don't want to mess up my makeup, right? And then I don't really go out, and when I do though, like it's really really hot and humid here, so like I don't want to wear that, right? Like I want to breathe. But the majority of Japanese people, even today, they wear mask. They do that because they're Japanese. They're hygienic, and also I guess that Japanese people just don't think too much, like once it becomes our rule, we stick to that. Just how we are. So nothing will change here. Like wearing masks, it's not politicized, except for like a small percentage of people. Oh yeah, I see super chat. So thank you for super chat. Oh wait, I didn't notice that super chat. Thank you for super chat. Okay, and another one. Thank you for super chat. 多くの日本人がデートをしたくないと考え、出生率が減少している現状を考えると、男性が複数の妻を持つことを許可されるべきだと思いますか？それによって、これは一年に複数の妻を持つことができます。Okay, for those who don't understand it, this comment is talking about, it says many Japanese people don't want to date, and then the birth rate is declining. So considering that, do you think that guys should have multiple wives, and by that they can have multiple babies? I was actually thinking about that. Because like Japanese culture, by the way, like it used to be very tolerant back in the day. It's only after like what we call Meiji era. What is that, like 1800 something? Until then, like we were very tolerant, right? But around that era, Christianity, like Japan adjusted ourselves to Christianity values, and also like we changed our form, like we wrote our constitution, we held like national army, like we had so-called restoration. So we changed a lot of things, and we adjusted ourselves to the Western style. But until then, like we had official wife, but then in order to have babies, like especially like if you are a top guy of the like authoritarian, like not authoritarian, what you say, like the top of the region, you would have like an official wife, and then other women that can give birth, right? So like that sort of culture was there. And then I see like recently, I don't know, I feel like sometimes there are fantasy I guess over one guy, many girls go to the guy. And I'm not saying I don't think that it should be our standard, but I'm like, I don't have like if you do that outside of our system, if you don't claim that to be our system, then I'm like, whatever floats your boat. I guess. But seriously, when it comes to birth rate, it's not about dating. I actually saw a Japanese tweet this morning saying that, oh, the reason why guys don't want to go on a date with women today is because women's rights are strong, and but then women are not attractive, so that men don't want to, spend time and money for women that it's not worth it, that are not worth it. That's cruel but accurate. But at the same time, the reality is it's vice versa as well. And the problem is that it's, for me, whatever the culture, and the value is, the bottom cause of the decline of the birth rate is economy. Like, it's as simple as that. People are reading too much into it. It's economy. People literally say the married people, they can give birth to many more, but they are stopping themselves because they are so responsible. The problem is Planned Parenthood, rather, right? You have to plan ahead, and you learn that in school. I remember learning about Planned Parenthood in elementary school. I was in fifth grade. I was so shocked. Like, oh, like, I thought that back then, I thought, like, 11 years old me, I thought, like, oh, that's a brilliant idea to plan ahead and be responsible. Yeah. But I realized later, like, oh, too much planning is actually bad. You gotta just live and see what happens. Right? 出したよ。Yes, so yeah, something like that. I think that it's too much thinking, and the bad economy, those two are bothering, that are stopping the birth rates from going higher. So it's a common problem. It's not just Japan. It's a world phenomenon. Elon Musk was tweeting about it too, right? That he knows that it's happening in entire world. Like, Japan's number is the worst, so people pay attention to that. But it's same for South Korea or China, like, or in America and elsewhere. It's like, people in developed countries, especially, people don't want to give birth more than before. It's becoming less. It's the prosper of the culture, and at the same time, the world is in recession right now. So, let's see. Thank you for the translation thing. You're welcome. Let's see. One wife is already a lot to handle. Imagine having to deal with two women. The problem again is, like, even if you want to do that, you need to be like, yeah, I was thinking about it actually, because I was thinking about, like, having multiple wives last night, because I watched Joker, as I said, the movie Joker. Because in the movie, the Joker's mom is delusional, but she says that, like, oh, like, my son is like, the Joker's father is the billionaire or some famous person, right? And then, like, there was that picture. I didn't fully understand what was going on, but I was like, after watching that, I think to myself, like, oh, back in the day, even not too long ago from now, I feel like guys would help women, that, like, there were many mistresses. But that is that is, of course, like, guys enjoy that. I think, like, men, that were rich probably enjoy that, having many women, but at the same time, they were taking care of those women, right, for a living. And but in order to do that, you need your own money, right? But today, it's hard just to have one. So it's all about economy, I think. Mm, 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 mm. Would the idea of families with more than two children minor not pay taxes work for solving population issue? Mm, not the tax, but the school. Is it school? Yeah. Or rather, like tax. I don't know about tax, but often hear from this. He's actually the great great offspring or something of Meiji Emperor. One of her emperor's offspring says like we should give money when the government should give money to newborn babies like enormous amount. Like what is this? I don't remember exactly the number, but it's a large amount. But then he says that after 20 years, is it what? Yeah, it's still 20 or no, it's now 18, I guess. After the certain period, right, like less than 2 decades, the baby will grow into an adult, and they will start paying taxes, right? So then the amount that you invested, the government invest in the newborn children will be taken, like you can get that back. And then more than that, not only that, like you can get more money from them, and then they will also work in the economy, so they can boost the economy as well. So like they are thinking like that as well, that you rather have to give money so that they will grow. People will give birth to many children, get money, raise them, and then they will be part of your society, giving taxes. There will be lots of arguments. Yeah. Harem, yeah. Harem is actually a Japanese word too. Harem. Harem. We often use that word. Aloha from Hawaii. Hey, thanks for coming. In the US, Planned Parenthood is an abortion provider service. Yes. I mean the woman that came up with the idea was a communist, I hear. So that way of thinking is spreading worldwide, and it's the cancer. It's very rare that the girl have a harem. If she does, she normally still with the one guy. These guys have the wives in this isekai. If Japanese mix, they should still teach their children Japanese. Don't raise them to be like Naomi Osaka. I agree. I agree. Yes. There are lots of cool mixed Japanese people like Mike Shinoda. He's one of the members of Linkin Park. He's the rapping one. So sad that Chester is gone, but yeah, he's half Japanese. And who else? Hoobastank singer was also he's also half Japanese. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool, cool, cool. My grandson is mixed and will learn Japanese, English, and maybe some Korean. That's wonderful. It's all about the environment. So yeah. Even I think, I'm 38 right now, but I feel like I could still learn another language. I'm mixed, but my Japanese mom is American that wasn't taught Japanese. Ah, I see. One of those. It's so interesting, like being born in America as an immigrant family. I think about that sometimes. I'm not talking about your family, but I'm just generally, you know, let's say that you are like Japanese blooded American born in the US, and then you're kind of Japanese, but you are American. Like your kind of people are in another country. speaking different language, but then you are there as American, and that's your home. Like, it still like confuses me because I'm not that, you know. But when it comes to the World War II, you know, there were Japanese American, you know, like Japanese people that were American, that fought against Japan, because that's what Japanese blood is, very loyal, you know, and they will not betray. If Argentinians elect Javier Milei, a libertarian that will end the Argentine Central Bank, decouple from the CCP and eliminate taxes, I will lobby my Japanese wife to consider ARG. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's so difficult. Interesting. Argentina, I'm not watching out for that. I should probably look into that. Interesting. Can my grandson be dual citizen? Wait. For Japanese, I guess that America allows dual citizenship. I hear that you have to pick, like, when Japan is involved in your blood, you know, or I mean, like the marriage, you have to pick your nationality by the time that you become adults, is what I hear. But I don't know about now, though. Like, I haven't looked into it for a long time, like in a while. Today's women are very disgusting. Don't say that, but I can get that. It's too much liberalism. Like, it's like, I have no right to talk about like exposure, you know, because I'm wearing a tank top myself. But like, you know, women's trait, you know, like a great trait of women is that they hide the important parts. You know, they have secrets, like they don't show it, and that's the beauty, and that's what's, you know, what makes them sexy. But today, the liberal type of people or progressive women are like, bam, in your face, and that's very disgusting to me. Like, like, too much information. And then I hear from like, I know some teachers from here, and they say that high school girls nowadays, like, you know, in Japan, in most high schools, they wear a uniform, right? But then we have PE class, and even the PE class uniform is a uniform. And then what happens often, especially in high school, somehow, is that the girls are wearing a skirt, right, from the uniform, and then they wear the PE class pants underneath. So then they can spread their wings and so on when during a class, like while listening. And that's really bad manner. But nowadays, I guess that you can't even scold that. あ、スーパーチャー、Thank you. 私は英語を非常に上手に話す日本人は、アメリカ人のようにとてもリラックスしたボディーラングエッジを持っていることに気づく。So this comment, thank you for Super Chat, by the way. And this comment is saying that those who speak, those Japanese that speak English very well, they tend to have this relaxed body language as well, just like Americans. For me, that, by the way, I didn't only learn or study English, I studied the body language of Americans as well. Like, this is effort. I guess part of it is natural, right? Like, if you keep staring at Americans, you copy that too. But I had to copy the Americans too, because language is not only about speaking, you know, the speaking words too come from your cultural backgrounds. You have to understand that, like, where the words are coming from, where the phrases are coming from, and at the same time, like, what kind of facial expression that you make, you know. Like, as a Japanese person, I think that my facial expression is very like non-Japanese, because Japanese people, it's hard to make Japanese people laugh too. you know, even if they smile, they're like like small. And then when they laugh, for example, they don't open their mouth too fully, like drunk people do. But in like a when you are in school or workplace, like when especially women here, when they laugh, they go like right, and they they hide their mouth. And my Americanized friend, I've been friends with her since actually 11 years old or so. Like she's an old friend of mine, but she's a rich person, so she has traveled around the world since she was young. And then she would tell me like, oh, Japanese people are so weird. You've come to think of it, like we hide our mouth when we laugh. And then she doesn't cover her mouth, so I was influenced by her. So like, even at a young age, I was laughing like Americans, right? But people don't do that here. And then I had to study, like especially when I was in university. My university had so many foreign students, like exchange students. So I studied them, like a CIA person, pretty much. Like I would stare them, and when they say, "Oh," they would squint. Is it squint their eye when they speak this and that, and then like, oh, their hands move like this, and I studied so much. Mm. It comes from like, yeah, is if Japanese people are staring at you with like very seriously, maybe you are being studied. Yeah, it's all about the culture. It's interesting though that I've been doing like human rights activities, regarding China, those who are affected by China, and I talk to other Asian people, right? And then when I met this Hong Konger leader, like this right wing, like patriotic guy from Hong Kong, he was the founder of this great party now, which was later dissolved by the government. I mean, by CCP, but he would speak fluent English, of course, like British influenced. But then he's a Hong Konger, and he's a proud Hong Konger. But then he would have this tone just like us, like I think that it comes a lot from his body language, and also like the values are important, but at the same time his English ability and his body language and everything, like it was the same as pretty much the same as mine. So then like I sometimes forgot that he was from another country. Like that happens sometimes. And of course, when I am with Americans, like I don't feel boundaries. I do struggle with English, but because we have this common understanding and common values, like I forget that we are from other countries, and that I love when that happens. Anyway, oh yeah, I put in the title like Japan versus China, and I did talk about it. It was what I meant to say was about treated water. Yeah, I did talk about that. Okay. And Biden family. Oh, I saw the news coverage of Fox News about Hunter Biden. Uh, he toured around the world, including Japan, Germany, Italy, Canada. Like he got on Air Force Two. I didn't know about Air Force Two, but he tagged along, and he was probably doing business there, taking advantage of the position of his father. Hmm. Is it considered impolite to laugh when not covering your mouth? It's not like impolite. It's like not. It's not elegant. It's. I guess that in Japanese culture, mouth is a little dirt. It's thought to be a kind of a dirty thing. I think because when you go to shrine, you wash not only your hands but also your mouth. So, like, of course, it comes from a long, like, it's an ancient culture. So back in the day, things were different, right? Now our hands are clean, our mouth is clean, but back in the day, probably it wasn't. I don't know. I don't know. But like, we cleanse our mouth, right? And maybe it's a religious thing, just like religious meaning. I have no idea. But yeah. And it's like, what's the word? If you don't do that, people might think of it as like coarseness, or what it's called, vulgarity, not elegant. So that could be that. I don't like my teeth. I had to mess. That happens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was doing that too. Yoko number one. Yes. Thank you. They quiet, then will talk behind your back. Oh yeah, that's so true. Japanese people are so like, they don't confront you, in your face, like face to face. But like, even in meetings, what happens often in Japanese meetings is that meetings are there to discuss, right? But they don't discuss there. They discuss before and after the meetings. Like, and I'm the opposite. Like, I hate it when people hide their feelings, right? So I'm like, in the meetings, I switch mode and I'm like really aggressive and say everything that I notice and so on, and I contribute. But other people, like the majority, are different, and they will say like, oh, in the meeting the person was saying this, but I actually think that this way and that way, and that happens. So that's why I don't. Like, it's weird. I'm a proud Japanese conservative, and I stand for my country. I'm fighting for my country, but at the same time, I dislike some of our cultural values. So, is your index finger shorter than your ring finger? If so, you have high testosterone. If your index finger is longer than you, oh yeah, I've heard of that. And look at mine. Why, it's this way, you can see better. This is shorter. And I have like big hands because it's like, I'm a lot like my father. Like, you see me, like, I'm very buff, like, as a Japanese person, like, my bones, like, right. I gotten a little skinny though, like, because I was not in a good healthy state, as you know, like in spring, so I lost a little weight, but like, I'm pretty buff as a Japanese woman. And my joints and so on are just like my father is big, and my hands are thick and so on. And yes, index finger is shorter. Yes, I'm like a man. I used to think that I failed to become a man. I kept saying that when I was little. I failed to become a man. Japan should ban all illegals. They basically let them stay. I think we detain them. But I guess that if you come here by tourist visa, I guess that some people just ignore and stay, so that can happen. But I don't know if they can find them afterwards. Okay. Anyway, it's almost an hour. I gotta go. I'm studying Japanese kanji. It's brutal. I bet. I bet. High testosterone. I never remember the word. When I see, I understand, but like, yeah, lots of tea. That's why you're cool. I think so. The Because I really struggle, as a female. because I don't get along with women, because I have no idea what they're thinking. And not only my gene is like this, but also like I've spent a lot of time with guys around, not because I'm an attractive girl, but because I thought that I was one of them. Like I'm a little crazy, right? I was very feisty and I wanted to, be better than men. That was my thing. That's been my thing. It's still a thing. So I always compete with men, right? So I get myself in like male community and I talk there with them, and then men have mostly like logical thinking, and so like that sort of like male culture has influenced me too, especially like around I got to know my husband. He's a very intelligent, smart guy, like he's very smart. The way that he thinks. Sorry, sorry for the big sound. My husband is sitting right in front of me. He's showing no interest in this stream, but when I just said like he's very intelligent and smart, he was like, yes. But he's really like it's not that I'm praising him because he's my husband. It's that he's so smart and he's the best man that I can find, and that's why I married him. You know what I mean? So like he's very smart and I learn a lot from him. He's my mentor. He's my partner, but he's my mentor and my teacher. So yes. You look healthy and fit. Thank you. I need to take more protein though. I feel like I can feel my age, I need to take protein more. When I was in Osaka, an elderly woman had my seat. She was really surprised, and she gave me a very deep bow. It makes me think that that doesn't happen for her very often. Kind of sad. I don't think that's it, because I do see people giving their seat often. I don't know if you're foreigner or not. I can't tell from an English comment, but sometimes like people do get surprised when they are given a seat by people that don't expect, they expect. I can do the grammar of the sentence, but you know what I mean. Yoko Strong will crush Sissipe, yes. High tea for the win, yes. Yoko Muslims here are increasing. Is that good for the Tokyo swamp? It depends on what kind of Muslims that is. Because I'm friends with Uyghur people and they are Muslims, but they don't they are not strictly Muslims and they drink. It was funny when I went to a Uyghur restaurant and the Uyghur I guess it's Turkish people? Can't tell, but the supposed to be Muslim people were drinking wine. So that sort of Muslims I don't care much, but fundamentalists are something that we need to watch out for. But the problem is that though, like some Japanese people here are now, especially after Trump administration, people became a fan of conservatism, right? Which is a good thing. But at the same time, if you look at the world, the fundamentalists of Islam, for example, they are conservatives in a way, right? And all these Jewish people, if they are strict to their religion. So like the conservatism is like you have to be careful with what you mean by that, Hmm. Western females, men. Just to be honest. The thing about I do get surprised though the bone structure and so on of Western women can be like some of them are very like masculine. Their face and so on. It's hot though still, and especially because I'm fed up with like feminine girls here. I love like Western, like very manly girls, but still, I guess they're too independent. We call that tomboy. Yes, yes, I was that. Yes, 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 yes. So the way that I spoke Japanese was very bad too. Mm. Because I want it to sound like stronger than boys. So I learned the ugliest way to speak. I'm a, as you know, like I speak another language, right? I speak English, just like that. Like when I was young, like I learned the standard way, and a polite way, and then the bad way to speak. I can still curse and so on in Japanese, so you don't want to make me mad, or else, I start speaking like angry man. Anyway, I gotta go. So, during the week, though, I will have a live stream with my husband, and it's gonna be your morning, your time. Yes. So tune in for that. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel and hit the bell so that hopefully you get a notification. Sometimes people say that you even if you hit the bell, you don't get notifications. But mm, Americans are mixed. Yeah. Yes. That's so true. You gotta drop an F bomb. Yeah. Just to say, yeah. Please teach the Japanese words one day. Oh yeah, I should do that. I should have a Japanese lesson too. Maybe I should have a Japanese lesson live stream. 私の先生は緑の鳥です。え緑の鳥 What? I'm confused. Thank you, Yoko and disinterested Hide. Yeah. You're welcome. Ah, Julie. Okay, I see. Yoko, stay forever. No, I gotta go. Thank you, chat. Oh, I have a gaming channel too. I posted a video. It's in Japanese. I'm speaking in the background all the time, but you can see my play there, how I play. Aloha! What? Nightmare? No, you'll be fine. You'll survive. Thank you so much. I'm fantastic. Yeah, I know. Yes, Yoko has artwork too. Check in the description box. There's an Etsy link, and there are 2 new art pieces that you should check out. Please buy. Help me financially. Sounds like a little weight. I don't even weigh like 50 kilos. Less than 50 kilo. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much. You guys too. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let's see each other again in a few days, okay? Next. Okay, have a good day have a good night for the most of you. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Gonna go. Yes. See y'all. Okay. It's hard to say bye, but bye.